Hey guys, what is up? Shout out to everybody. What is up? We are here with day 9 with Kid Cudi. Woo, it's getting intense. Hey, before we get started, I want to say a quick shout out to my daughter. She won the Cappies Award. She goes to school for theater, and she's just been amazing. She's been in high school for 3 years. She's a junior, and she won the Cappies Award. She won so many other awards, but I want to brag about this one. Look at this Cappies Award. Isn't that beautiful? She just loves makeup, stage production. She also does the clothing, set design, it just everything. Woo, 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 woo. How about that? Thank you guys. Go ahead and hit that like button. But shout out to her. Shout out to my daughter. We gotta praise the kids when they do well. I'm super proud. She's just doing amazing. So guys, we are back. I got my javel. We are back. See, I'm starting to feel a little better, guys. Look, got my nails done. I got my wig on. My eyelashes. Sorry, my eyelashes aren't checked, but I'm getting there. I'm not as nasal. I'm getting there. Thanks for hanging in with me, guys. So let's get to it. Brian Steele got his butt kicked today. But before we go there, I gotta show you something funny. I saw something funny. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Y'all people on YouTube are crazy.
Bring me to a freak off. That man don't have to damage. Oh my God. Step with the other. Everyone thinks it's from academic. Step with the Italian. You're not Italian. Oh, God. They're not going through that. You stand on that. Myron, that piece of to a freak off. Can somebody bring me to a freak off? I want to go to a freak off. I want to get. Just like that, Diddy. Anything I want, a freak off. That's what I want. Bring me to a freak off.
What is wrong with people? That lady was outside her courtroom like, I want to go to a freak off. They said that the statistics have proven that people was thinking about their own, life, their own intimate. And they were like, God, I'm pretty boring. Oh my God, I haven't done that. Oh my God, I've never done this. I never done that. Like, I want to go get baby oil, and y'all are just crazy. So he's like inspiring people to be more creative in the bedroom. Let me say that. This is just straight madness. Anyway, let's get all catch up. We're on day 9. So yesterday was the Punisher, who came for. He was very articulate. He was on Piers Morgan. I don't know if you saw it. I'm going to play a quick clip, but I thought it was very interesting what he had to say. It gave a different perspective because all we were hearing about was force, coercion, RICO. She tried to get away. She was beaten. She was drugged. She was this, that. The charges for RICO have to be arson, which they proved with Kid Cudi today. We're going to talk about that. Guns, which they showed yesterday. They did bring up the guns in court yesterday. Did you guys miss it? I know you guys are probably missing it, but let me see. Let me show you the pictures. Let me show you the pictures, guys. Let me share my screen. Arson. They talk about arson today with Kid Cudi. Here are the guns. What did they say? AK-45? A45? Not an AK. A45. A Glock 45? Hold on. Oh, I hate when this happens. Well, you can see the screen right here. There's another gun. So they didn't even hit him with interstate transportation of guns and drugs, because if he gets fined not guilty, they could always hold him and then bring him on a gun and a drug charge. Or they could transfer him for the KPD file. Look at this. Here we go right here. Gun number 1. What was gun number 2? It was a rifle. Hold on. They had a rifle that they bought in court too. And they were defaced. Here we go. There goes the rifle. Oh no. Here. See the rifle? So the RICO, we have arson because Kid Cudi testified his car was set on fire with a mock-top cocktail. We have the 2 guns, the rifle and the 45, right? Then we have the male 2 male sex workers that testified. The guns were defaced. Kidnapping, which was the video that they had showed at the International Continental when Cassie got pulled, so she was held against her will, right? And forced labor. So forced labor, I think, was the chef and the gentleman who testified yesterday. Here he goes. He also said he was working like 100 hours a week, only had 9 hours a day. He was working 100 hours, I don't know, 100 hours a week, making 120,000. It was not the hotel staff. He always cleaned up the room. Here he goes. George Kaplan. He looks stressed. You know, a lot of the feds said you got to testify. If you don't testify, we're going to charge you with co-conspirator. So they had to testify against their will. Former assistant testified that he would clean up the moguls' hotel rooms to protect the rapper's public image. He worked exclusively with Combs. He would clean up the hotel for Bad Boy Records, across the country, and especially at the Intercontinental in LA and the Hotel Trump in New York. He cleaned up everything. Baby oil, bottle oil, Gatorade, crystallized powder. I heard he had drugs in his eye drops. It wasn't in the baby oil, it was in his eye drops. In the counter of the bathroom sink. He would clean the room instead of the hotel staff cleaning it up. And he interfered that he needed to protect his boss's public image. He was promoted to executive assistant from 2014 to 2015. Okay, so that's what he testified, right? So that's the RICO, because a lot of people are like, I don't see the RICO coming up. I just hear a bad relationship, DV. Everybody's just focused on DV. That was only week 1. That was only victim number 1. Remember, we have 4 or 5 victims. We're supposed to have minors. I heard the marshals found Gina, who's supposed to be victim number 3. So that's the RICO: arson, guns, prostitution, defaced weapons, kidnapping, and forced labor. You guys not see that? But then I thought that the Punisher, I'm sorry, I can't remember his real name. He brought a very like a human aspect to the whole thing, and they were actually trying to ask if he like fell in love with Cassie because he had been involved for like 2 or 3 years with them. Let me go ahead and play it, and then you guys let me know your thoughts, and then we'll go into the Kid Cudi testimony. Okay, let's go.
Is going to be the issue of consent, as to whether she was consenting to all this as a willing participant in this. What is your view? I mean, do you believe this was all consensual, or do you think that, as the prosecution want the jury to believe, this was all coercion, control, and criminal?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm only privy to the circumstances that I was a part of, and as similar to I testified to, I didn't get any cues, didn't have any thing that would lead me to believe in the moment that she was under any duress or any force scenario. It was presented to me that this was something that she wanted to create for her husband. You know, for the majority of the time I interacted with them, I believe they were a married couple. And I believed, based on me following them on Instagram and whatever interactions that I've seen, although minimally, it seemed like a normal situation. I didn't get any cues to it being a distressful environment.
I mean, people, you know, you say normal. A lot of people have been pretty shocked by the details coming out of this court case. For most people, I would argue this is not normal sexual behavior to call in and pay somebody like you, in Diddy's case, to come and have sex with his girlfriend as he watches. Most people don't view that as normal. Other people might, right? So I'm not here to judge the normality or otherwise of it. But was there anything about what happened when you were there which unsettled you?
So I agree with you about normal. When I use the word normal, I was talking about the interactions between him and her, just as far as their scenarios. I didn't get any cues that there was some tension or or an intense environment. As far as the sexual scenario, even with me being in the exotic dancer business for many years, that environment was very uncomfortable for me. It was something I was not used to, something that I'd never took part of in any type of extensive scenario. So it was definitely uncomfortable, but it didn't, at the same time, it still didn't appear, other than us trying to create this scene and some of the direction that I did sense some frustration. I said in my testimony, I saw her sigh at times and look frustrated at the cues and the direction that was given. Other than that stuff, I didn't see anything that was off. And again, even me mentioning it in trial, it was in hindsight, because if there were no allegations, I might not have read into it at all.
The first time you met them both was at a hotel room in Trump Tower, owned, of course, by the now President of the United States. It's on Central Park West. I stayed there myself when I did The Apprentice years ago. I believe Cassie Ventura, you testified, greeted you at the door in a bathrobe, and you were specifically told not to acknowledge Sean Diddy Combs, who was sitting in the corner. He was wearing a veil over his face, but you knew it was him, I presume.
I did not.
Oh, you didn't know it was him?
I did not know. I did not recognize her. And again, his face was completely covered to the degree where you could only see his eyes. So I was totally unaware of who they were. Actually leaving, I tried to do some Google searches, because obviously I understood that this was some sort of a prominent couple. But because she initially said they were married, I recall searching married couples, and I was going to draw a blank, because they're in fact not married.
You testified that the man was nude, wearing a Muslim-like face covering, and that he was masturbating in the corner while he watched you with his girlfriend, and that said that Cassie and this man then left the room after about half an hour. When she came back, she asked you whether you wanted to finish. This was the quote used, and you declined. You were then paid an additional $1,200 and left the hotel. So at what point did you realize this was Diddy, one of the most famous rappers in the world?
I mean, embarrassingly, I have to say, if this duration of these meetups went on from 2012 to 2015, and it might have been well over a year into interacting with them before I figured it out. And I never figured it out visually. And what happened was, we checked in a hotel they used called the Essex House. There was usually a waiting period before any of the sexual interactions would happen. And just killing time in a room that I was told to sit in, I cut on the TV, and the TV happened to have a welcome message. And it said, the Essex House would like to welcome Mr. Sean Combs. And it was just like a holy crap moment. I was completely unaware. And even more embarrassing about it was, I followed him on Instagram. I routinely saw his posts, and I did not put it together at all.
Once you realized, and that's an extraordinary way to find out, when did you let them know you knew who they were, or did you not?
I did not. I obviously, I realized there was a long period of time with them hiding their identity. Cassie would try to wear wigs, which was kind of ineffective, but I didn't recognize her anyway. And, Mr. Combs went great lengths for me not to realize it. So I never said anything directly. But at some point, he took off the covering anyway and just started wearing a baseball cap, so I couldn't visually see him.
I mean, that's a weird thing, isn't it? You see one of the most famous rappers in the world, and he is directing you to have sex with his girlfriend.
Yes, absolutely. Me personally, going through it, I remember making up my own stories, where I figured this was a scenario where obviously he's this famous rapper and he's gonna indulge in plenty of women, and this is his girlfriend, and this is kind of like okay, I'm doing all of this, so now you get an opportunity. That was a story I made up for myself. There was also a story that I believed at some point that maybe he, in fact, had erectile dysfunction. I had a situation earlier in my career, the only one time before, where I was propositioned to deal with someone's wife, and that was the circumstances where the husband had a sexual issue, and he was doing this to supplement his own inabilities. So I remember while this was going on, I had a belief that maybe that was going on with Mr. Combs. I had no idea that this was just more of a fetish type of scenario.
Dry skin, deeper.
I thought that was interesting, guys. What did you think? So he said he was there 2 to 3 years. He never saw any abuse. He never saw any drugs. It was a loving relationship. He thought that he was just couldn't please his wife, who was allegedly wife, who was maybe 20 years younger than him, that he felt that that was very normal. He did that all the time, and he was just there he felt very honored. I thought he came across very, I felt he was telling the truth. I felt he was very sincere. I felt like he didn't want to testify. I feel like he was forced to testify. I think he's very successful in what he does in New York, and he just got, it's probably surprising. Like, you have this intimate thing, and then you got to go in front of the whole world and testify. And he basically debunks. He's great if the prosecution called him to the stand, he's actually great, I felt, for the defense, because it's saying everything opposite of what Cassie did. But then remember what Cassie said, but then remember there were 2 doctors that testified yesterday, if you go back to my old live, that talk about the whole Stockholm syndrome, the physical abuse, the emotional abuse, the mental abuse, mental anguish. Why do they stay, and all this other stuff, and that she loved him, and that they would have their private times. But there was a part when Punisher said that sometimes if Diddy left the room, she would get up and follow him. So there was never a time when she was alone with, like, if he had left or he had business or he wasn't interested or he finished it, she would get up and follow him, almost like, this is supposed to be us, the 3 of us, or I'm not cheating on you, or why are you not involved, or why are you getting turned off, or why are you not leaving, or this is something that you wanted. So I thought that was interesting. Anyway, so let's go to the Kid Cudi testimony, how he pulled up today. Let's go see where we're at with that. This morning, he came up, pulling up with smoking his cigarette. He pulled up in the rain, smoking. I wonder if he was stressed. He was pretty cool on the stand. Let me share my screen. There he goes, guys. He came up smoking his cigarette. He came to testify. So I think the assistant that we talked about earlier, that was a last minute. He wasn't on the schedule for this week, but the last minute he was like, okay, I'll do the plea deal or whatever, or I'll come and testify. So that threw the prosecution off. So, okay, so the government calls Kid Cudi to the stand, and they ask him. He comes to the stand in a leather jacket, a white shirt, and blue jeans without the cigarette. And the government says, what did you do for work? Kid Cudi said, I'm an actor and a musician known as Kid Cudi. The government said, who is this? And they show him a photo. He shows a picture of Cassie. Oh, guys, if you want to donate, I'm going to have my Cash App and my PayPal at the top of the comments. And hit the like. If you're here, hit the like button. I'm just listening to the recording, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat it, because usually I follow Inner City Press on Twitter, but it's never really in order. So Kid Cudi said him and Cassie dated in 2011. The government said, who else was she involved with? He said Sean Combs. The government says, what did you know about their status? He said, I knew that her and Diddy had problems and they weren't dating anymore. The government says In December of 2011, did law enforcement respond to your home? Kid Cudi said yes. Someone broke into my house. Cassie called me at 5:30 or 6 a.m. Said that Sean Combs found out about them, and she said, "Please pick me up." And so he did. The government said, "Why'd you pick her up?" Kid Cudi said, "Because she was worried." The government said, "What was her demeanor?" Kid Cudi said she was very stressed and worried. The government said, "Well, where did you go?" Kid Cudi says, "I went to Sunset Marquise." The government said, "Why?" Because he said because he thought he was safe and off the radar. The government said, "Who else did you speak with?" He said, "I spoke with Capricorn Clark." Capricorn Clark sounded like she was crying. The government said, "What did she say?" Kid Cudi said that Diddy was in the car near his house. Mm-hmm. Brian Steele goes, "Objection." The judge said, "Overrule." The judge don't like Diddy's team. He be shutting them down, shutting them down, shutting them down. Sunset Marquise. Sunset Marquise. He went to the Sunset Marquise because he thought it was going to be safe in Los Angeles. Sunset Marquise. So he was hiding low because he went to go break into his house. Okay, I'm waiting for the court. I'm waiting for the court, guys. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. Thanks. So let me see. Let me read something really, really quickly. Kid Cudi's testimony, home intrusion, dog abuse. Cudi testified that in December 2011, after Diddy discovered his brief relationship with Cassie, Ventura Combs allegedly broke into his home, his Hollywood Hills home. He found family Christmas gifts unwrapped and his dog locked in the bathroom, visibly distressed. Cudi reported the incident to the police. Car firebombing with a mocktail cocktail on January 2011. Cudi's Porsche was destroyed by a mocktail cocktail. He presented photographic evidence and a fire department report confirming the arson. Cudi believed the attack was orchestrated by Combs in retaliation for his relationship with Cassie. Confrontation at the Soho House following the car bombing. Cudi met with Combs at the Soho House in Los Angeles. He describes Combs as calm, liking him like a Marvel supervillain. When confronted about the attack, Combs denied the involvement but later issued a private apology. Cassie's fears and abuse allegations. Cudi recounted that Cassie had expressed fears of Combs, describing him as abusive. She warned Cudi about potential retaliation, which aligned with subsequent incidents he experienced. Okay, let's go back to the court. They found some clear high heel shoes in Diddy's closet with the guns, and they were saying, "Do you think that?" They were saying, "Do you think Diddy was wearing those? He was cross dressing wearing those shoes." All right, let's go, guys. I'm waiting for the court. I'm just waiting for the court. Let's go. Brian Steele is up against Kid Cudi. Brian Steele's supposed to be pretty aggressive, but the judges keep shutting him down, shutting him down. Brian Steele just got overruled. So the government says, you call Sean Combs? Kid Cudi said, I did. Diddy said to him, I'm over here waiting for you. Sean said he's waiting for you. But didn't Diddy took Cassie from Ryan Leslie? So like you said, the way you take him is the way you lose him. Plus Diddy had a whole heap of other women. So I don't even know why the control is all about that. If she wanted to, they weren't married, and if she wanted to date somebody else, that was your business. I'm waiting on the court, guys. Let's go. Court's ending this week at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, they end. Last week they were going to 5, but this week it's going to 3. They asked Kid Cudi when he got to his house, what did the outside look like? He said pretty normal, but his security camera that he had wasn't working. His security camera wasn't working. He said the security cameras had been moved. The government said, did you move them? He said, nope. Government said, what did you see inside of your home? Kid Cudi said he had Christmas gifts from Chanel, was open, and they locked up his dog in the bathroom. The government said, how do you usually leave your dog? He said he lets him roam the house. Imagine you come home and your dog is locked up in the bathroom. Here come PETA. The PETA people are gonna come. The animal control people are gonna come. They're gonna be protesting outside of the court. You know we got a lot of dog lovers out here. Shout out to Sharon Crawford for the PayPal. Thank you. He said, how long did he have his dog? He had his dog for 3 years. The government said, what changes the behavior of your dog after the break-in? He said his dog was jittery and on the edge. The dog was stressed. Damn. Diddy went and stressed out the dog? Diddy went and stressed out. I hope he didn't blow him up. Light him on fire. Jesus. Uh-uh. I don't know. They say Brian's still supposed to be so great. I think he's the highest paid. He's the one getting like $2,500 an hour. But he's trying to cross-examine and he can't because the judge keeps denying him. So then Kid Cudi called Diddy on the phone. He said he was looking for him because he wanted to find him because he broke in his house. He unplugged his security camera. He threw his dog in the bathroom, locked the door. He opened up his Christmas gifts from Chanel. Diddy said, I'm on my way. He called him on the phone. Diddy said, okay, I'm on my way. Brian Steele says, objection. The judge says, on what grounds? Brian Steele said nothing. Overruled. The judge shut him down twice. Brian Steele. Objection. Get out of here. That Judge Arun does not like Diddy's team. He sees right through all the shenanigans. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna stop for a second, guys. Listen, I'm gonna go through this one more time because I got a lot of people calling me. Hey, I know you in the industry. You know the background. You know people. What your thoughts? Blah, 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 blah. People are like, I don't see the RICO. I don't see the transportation. I don't see the prostitution. Everyone's like, I don't. Remember, like I said, RICO, arson. That's what we're gonna get into right now. That's number one. Guns. They had 2 defaced guns in this house. That's number 2. The fact that the serial numbers were removed. We saw 2 male workers testify. Drugs. You saw all the drugs. Tusi, ketamine, cocaine, opioids, Viagra. I can't even Percocet, Molly. The tape proved the kidnapping when he dragged her through the Intercontinental Hotel. I don't know how you guys cannot see this. Plus the forced labor with the chef and with the assistant that they had to travel and they were working all these hours and they weren't even making the minimum. All right, let's go back. Am I explaining? I don't have a law background, guys. I'm just trying to dissect, put the pieces of the puzzles together and just state my opinion. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a paralegal. I'm none of that. I'm just watching the trial like the rest of you and trying to, make it make sense, I guess. All right, let's go back. I'm listening to the audio. Let me share my screen because I can't follow him on Twitter. I try to follow him on X, but it's not in order the way he posts, or maybe just the way I'm watching it. Okay, let's go. Let's get to the arson now, guys. Brian still he's getting 2,500 hours. Keep object, and the judge is like, why are you keep objecting? Yeah, I don't know. And I know judge is staying on schedule. They're supposed to have 6 witnesses today. 6. Kid Cudi said, when you saw Cassie, how did she seem? Kid Cudi said she was depressed. The government said, did you see her in Connecticut? He said, yeah. She needed it. He said, did Diddy call you? He said, yep. He called him a few times. Well, he said, he hit me up. The government's like, what, hit? What does that mean? They think physically hit. He's like, no, he hit me up. Like he called me. They trolling Diddy with the dogs already. Look at this. No Diddy dog. They mad at Diddy. Diddy, people love their pets. Here come Peter. They trolling. Look at this. Diddy with the dog. Okay. Today was one of the saddest days of my life. What? No Diddy dog? No Diddy dog? My name is Diddy. Oh, God. Let's go. He locked up Kid Cudi's dog in the bathroom. That reminds me of that movie. What was that movie with Glenn Close? And he came home, the wife came home, and her rabbit was Fatal Attraction. Remember the rabbit came home over there, and the rabbit was boiling. If I came home and my dog was boiling in a pot of water, that's some psycho. That's some psycho stuff. Right? Look at my doggy. This is my doggy. Say hi, baby. Here he goes. If I came home, I love him. We love him. We love him. He's just the sweetest, cutest. He's 5 years old. Say hi, my name is Opa. If I came home and this dog was boiling in a pot, was in the oven cooking in the... Let me tell you, not just me, my entire family would be traumatized. Right, baby? We would be traumatized. I think he was sleeping. I woke him up. All right, I'm waiting on Court. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Court. Come on. Diddy is a monster. Going in people's houses, locking up their pets, messing with their security camera. Okay, the government asked Kid Cudi, what did he want when he called him? He said, I don't want to talk to him. He broke into my house and he broke my dog. And he hurt my dog. He broke into my house. He cut off the cameras, went through his Christmas gifts, and locked up his dog. And the dog was shook. The dog was shaken. Peter's gonna be outside picketing outside the court. Peter, they're gonna be like, leave the dogs alone. Leave the dogs alone. Leave the dogs alone. Let's see if we can find Kid Cudi's dog. Oh no. Oh, was this Kid Cudi's dog? Is this the dog? This is the dog he locked up? Oh man. And I think the dog died. The dog did die. But not from... Oh no. His dog was his guardian angel and helped him tackle depression, suicide. This is the doggy. Look at the doggy that Diddy done locked up in the bathroom. He's a celebrity now. What's the dog's name? He died. Freshie. Kid Cudi mourns the death of his dog, Freshie. He was a special boy. Oh, Lord. Wow. Was he a boxer? Look at the doggy. Look at him. That was his best friend. And Diddy done broke into the house and traumatized him. Where's Peter? If they find him not guilty on racketeering, they're gonna go Peter's gonna go lock him up for doggy abuse. Kid Cudi told Diddy. Kid Cudi told Diddy, I don't want to talk to you. Broke into my house and I don't want to talk to you. The government said, did you and Cassie break up? He said yes. They said, what about your car? Here we go with the car. The government asked Kid Cudi, what about your car? He said his babysitter or his dog sitter called him and told him that his car was on fire. First the dog, now his car. What's that? Oh, that's that movie with Angela Bassett, when he lit the car on fire. He blew up the car. He was at his ex-girlfriend's relative's house, and they gave him a call and said, your car is on fire. Look at this. Just like Angela Bassett. Boom! So first you're boiling the dog. First you lock up the dog like in Fatal Attraction. And this one waiting to exhale. The car's blowing up. And I heard Roger Bonds was the one who threw the cocktail. Roger Bonds. I heard that Roger Bonds, his security, was the one. Because Diddy's hands is always clean. He never hires the prostitute. He never pays the prostitute. He never books the prostitute. He never gets the drugs. The assistant gets the drugs. Look how everybody's doing everything for him. And I heard that this Roger Bonds is the one that went and bombed the car. He was in Hollywood's Hills Hole at his ex-girlfriend's house. and they show him 6 pictures. And they said, "What are these pictures?" He said that was his Porsche, the damage to his Porsche from the mocktail cocktail they threw in it. He said his friend Chip took the pictures. Ooh, here it is. Here are the pictures of Kid Cudi's car that they presented today. Thank you to TMZ. Arson. Here it is, arson. Arson right here. Can you spell RICO? RICO, racketeering, enterprise, criminal organization. Look at this. Look at his Porsche. That's a Porsche, guys. That's a Porsche. How much is a Porsche? 150,000. They ripped the top. It was a convertible, and they dropped the mocktail cocktail in there, and it went to fire. Wow. And that's after he done locked up his dog in the bathroom, and the dog died. Do you see this Porsche? Look at the Porsche. That's arson. That's arson. They got the guns. We got the 2 guns, the 45, the rifle. We got the arson. We got the mocktail cocktail. We got 2 workers. We got the guns that would deface the serial number. The pulling Cassie back. That's the kidnapping. And we got the forced labor from the assistant, said he was working 100 hours a day, and the chef who was traveling with him and wasn't getting paid the extra money to travel. Oops. Look at this. Look at this. You don't even terrorize men, women, children. You gotta terrorize dogs too. And we still got 5. We have 6 witnesses today, and we still have 4 or 5 more victims. We still only on victim 1. This is the 2nd week, and we got 6 more weeks. We only on victim number 1, guys. Here's the pictures of the car. How much time do you do for locking up, breaking an entry, breaking someone's house, and locking up their pet? The cover. Brian Steele is quiet. Brian Steele's supposed to be getting $22,500 an hour. He is quiet. And then Kid Cudi goes, "What was your reaction when he broke into your to his court?" He said, "What the F? What the F?" Here goes Brian Steele's objection overruled. Overruled. The judge overruled. He don't like them. He don't like them. If Diddy gets guilty, I'm telling you, the judge is gonna bring down life, because the judge didn't even want to do this case. The judge didn't even want to do it. It wasted so much time, so much money. I'm sorry, but Brian Steele on the defense, they lost today. They caught a big L. And remember, they never examined Cassie's mother, Regina Ventura. They never the defense never cross examined. They on break. They taking a break. They taking a break, guys. Look at this car. Do y'all see this car? And this happened in 2012. He never pressed charges, never called the police, never stepped to him, never fought with him. He probably didn't even want to come to court today. But they said, "Look, either you come to court and you testify, or you are a co-conspirator. Anybody who's not testifying is a co-conspirator." Okay, now the jury's coming back in. So Kid Cudi was on. So we had the assistant on this morning. Kid Cudi came. They took a break. Kid Cudi is back. The government asked, what was the damage on your car present before you got the car from the dog sitter? Kid Cudi said no. The government says, did you think it was accidental or intentional? Of course it's intentional. You can look at the top where he ripped it with a knife. Government asked, when was the last time you saw Cassie Ventura? He said at the Soho house. He told Diddy, let's talk. Let's meet and talk. He called him, let's talk. He was being a real man. He called Diddy, let's sit down and talk. I wonder if the judge will come back to Diddy and offer him another plea deal. Can it come in the middle of the trial? What do you guys think? Put a one in. Let me know in the chat. Put a one if you think the judge is going to come back and offer him another plea deal or not, or is it going to go? Guys, we think we're going to sit here for another? We got to sit here for another 6 weeks of this. We only on week number 2. First week was jury duty. First week was jury selection. First week, okay, jury selection, Cassie testimony, and now we're at week 3, Kid Cudi. This is supposed to go 8 weeks. So we got what? 4 more weeks? 4 to 6. This is everything that Cassie had wrote in her civil lawsuit that she had got the $20 million for. She said that he hit her in the Intercontinental Hotel. She was dating Kid Cudi. He blew up his car, and here's the photos. Here's the evidence. We didn't know, but I don't remember her putting in her suit about the mother extorting $20,000 from her mother. I don't remember reading that. I didn't read it anyway. But you guys need to go back in my live. I did two lives. I read the whole 46 pages of the RICO charge against Janice Combs, his mother, that came from Kurt Burrows. That one was good. And hopefully, if they settle, if they're able to get his money, it's going to go to the victim fund. And Kurt Burrows, he's looking for about $40 million. The judge says, "Do you have an objection?" Drysdale says yes. The government wanted to know who set up the meeting at the Soho house. And Kid Cudi said D-Rock and his manager. I wonder if Roger Bonds is going to come testify. Is Roger Bonds going to testify? Is Kurt Burrows going to testify? Arson's a serious crime alone. But then again, like Diddy said, it wasn't him. He was like, I'm going to make you disappear, make you and Cassie disappear, and I'll be out the country when it happens. They won't be tracing me. Kid Cudi could have sued Diddy. He could have sued him. He didn't snitch, nothing. He had to go buy a new car, or was insurance? Insurance don't cover arson. Is insurance going to pay for that? I don't think so. No, he was pissed. Diddy's a menace to society, man. So the government says, what was Diddy doing? The government asked Kid Cudi, when he met with Diddy at the Soho house, what was he doing? Oh, that's when he said he was standing there as a Marvel character. Dun-dun-dun-dun. They're laughing in the court. This is not funny, but they're laughing. But they're laughing. It's tense. It's tension. So they gotta laugh to kind of, you know. I'm here, guys. They laughing in the court. Hey, Cudi got jokes. Diddy said we was homies. You know that's my girl. The government said, "What did you say?" He said, "I thought y'all broke up." And Diddy offered him some water. Oh hell no! Drink water from Diddy? No. You want to drink some water? He offered him twice. You want some water? You want some water? Oh my God, guys. Out of all the testimony, who do you think was the best? Tell me who was the best. He said it was weird because Diddy was really calm. I'd be nervous too. He coming there all calm. The government said, what did Cassie say? Kid said he said Cassie told Diddy that what? She told Diddy they were in love. He said he was in love. And then Diddy said, what about my car? No, Kid Cudi asked him, what about my car? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. Diddy said, I don't know what you're talking about. Look at ChatGPT. I told ChatGPT it turned Diddy into a super villain hero. So that's how he came. That's how he came through. Rah! Blowing up the car, locking the dog in the bathroom, stealing all the Christmas gifts, turning off the security camera. Look at him. Then he comes back all calm, talking about, you want some water? What the psycho? Look at this picture, guy. If they had showed that picture in court, I'd be crying. It doesn't really look like him, but it's still funny. All right, this is not Laughing Married. Let's get back. Let's go back to being serious, guys. Let's go back. Did the government ask Kid Cudi, did you see Kid Cudi later? He said a few years later at the Soho House. And Diddy said, I'm sorry for all that bullshit. So he apologized. Case rest. That's arson, guys. Breaking an entry. I see breaking an entry. Opening up Christmas gifts. That looked like a robbery. But why you mad? I don't know. Why you mad if she's with Kid Cudi when you already hired 13 workers to be with her? Oh, so crazy. I guess because he didn't know. Breaking an entry, robbery, abuse of animals. Did you see his doggy? You saw Kid Cudi's doggy? And then his dog had died? Oh, God. Here come Brian Steele. I want to ask you some questions about your Porsche in 2012. They're cross-examining, asking Kid Cudi if he had any pictures of damage to the car. Brian Steele is weak. I'm sorry. Everybody's like, oh, he's the highest paid and he's gonna be dope and da. I really thought what did Brian Steele? He didn't do anything. Oh no. Look. He got a new doggy. Look, he got a new doggy. Kid Cudi got a new doggy. Diddy done broke in the house, locked the dog in the bathroom. The dog had the shades. He said the dog was his companion, helping him fight depression. Then he died, and the man had to go. Not only did he lose his woman, he had to go get a new doggy. Look at that doggy. It's cute though. Look at him. His name is Teddy. He got that dog. Oh my God. Shout out to Kid Cudi coming through with the testimony on the arson. We got arsons, we got the 2 guns, we got 2 prostitutes, we got the serial numbers, we got 1 tape of kidnapping, and we got 2 testimonies of forced labor. Why is anyone still sitting up here talking about, I don't know where Rico is, I don't see the Rico. Brian Steele is asking about some DNA results. Oh, I guess maybe they fingerprinted the house to find if there was any DNA on the car or the house or whatever. I did hear it was Roger Bonds, though. Blew up the car. Let's see. Let me see, guys. Did Roger Bonds? It's Diddy and his goons. He ain't no real gangster. He don't never do anything. He always hiring people to do all his dirty work. His goons. Let me see. Did Roger Bonds? So he may have been involved because he was his security guard during the time. Roger Bonds was Diddy's bodyguard during the time, and Roger Bonds did say he had a violent behavior. No direct evidence implicates Roger Bonds, because if he turned off the security camera and nobody was home, is that what you know? It's what you could prove, right? Interesting. I wonder if he's going to testify. Bill Roger Bonds. I heard the marshals found Gina. The marshals found Gina, and I wonder if he will, if they're gonna pull her into court. What do you guys think? Oh, Roger Bond said he's ready to testify against him if he's summoned to do so. That was a year ago. He said if he gets summoned, he'll do it. But people out here lying. People like Aubrey O'Day or like Albie Shore. They're like, oh, I got subpoenaed to testify. I'm coming to the court. They're like, no, thank you. We don't want you. And the ones that are coming in, we haven't heard about them. Macon Kerry, the assistant, the 2 doctors. Like, well, I think we knew Kid Cudi was coming. Boy, wait till we get to victim number 2. They were supposed to have 6. I think they had 6 witnesses today in trial. I am not covering 6. Guys, I'm just going to give you bits and pieces of the highlights of what I think is good, because I know you do not have that time, 8-9 hours to be sitting here going through 6 witnesses. I know I don't. But on that note, guys, it was fun. I am about to be out of here. If you guys are looking for some good recipes for dinner, some soup, some salad, some meat, some fish, some chicken, your girl, you got you. I'm going to come back on here and start cooking again. It's a 3-day weekend. It's too hot to be outside. It's like 105. So it's 105 degrees, guys. It's like 90 degrees all week, but with the heat index, it turns to 105. And that's hot. So you either got to be in the pool or the beach or in some AC or whatever. I'm probably just going to be, guys, I might just be sitting up here doing a recap with you guys because I am having fun. But on that note, I am out of here. So it was nice seeing everyone, and I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know who's coming up tomorrow. I'm going to find out. I'll find out and let you guys know. All right, guys. Later. See you guys later.